an ethical AI framework designed specifically for transparent and responsible banking. In this case, I specifically chose loan approval because 1. It is one of the highest risk AI use cases in finance. It directly affects people's lives, jobs, homes, and education. Regulatory bodies require explainability and fairness for credit scoring. So that's why I thought I'll take loan approval as my use case. So for my front end, for the login, I have created two profiles, that is the user and the admin. For the easiness of this demo, I have created static and hard-coded profiles. So for user, I'm putting user at trustai.com and user as a password. All these passwords have been hard-coded into the system. Now, when I click user as a checkbox, I will log in. Now this is the front end. We have four options: loan decision, consent settings, AI audit log, and analytics. In the AI audit log, currently there are no audit logs available as I have not, as a user, put any value inside my loan decision. For consent settings, I have given allow AI processing and allow profile scoring. This is a feature of the system. In the analytics as well, you can load stats, that is, how many requests a user has given, what is the approval rate of their loans, and what is the average confidence. Now coming to our loan eligibility checker, first I'll give the annual income as 9 lakhs, the monthly EMI as 1,500, the monthly expense as 15,000, the credit score quite high, that is 800, since the highest in India is 900, the number of accounts as 2 that this person has in his bank, and I'm giving the region as East. Now I'll check the eligibility. This is the eligibility. Now, since I'm a user, I'm not able to understand why my loan has been approved or denied. So for that, I'll be clicking this beautiful explanation. Your loan is approved. The risk is 1.1%. The income, that is your each description is given, your debt ratio, credit score, number of accounts, and all that stuff. Your debt ratio is 0.18%. That means I've taken debt ratio because debt ratio tells how much of the user's income is already committed. That is, even if two people have the same EMI, their risk levels differ based on income. It is the most important predictor of repayment capacity. So that is why when I'm taking a loan, if my debt ratio is quite high, then the chances of my loan being approved is less. Now I can close this and I can go to my AI audit log and I can load this again, and you can see I'm the test user. Since this is the only user I've given, my decision has been approved. The confidence is 98.86, the timestamp. Now similarly, I can see the same thing in the AI audit log as well. The analytics is I can load the stats again. I can load the stats again, and you can see the only region that I've given is East. Now let's test this again with another value. So I'll give my annual income as 5 lakhs, my EMI as 3,000, my monthly expenses as 20,000, my credit score is quite less, which is 450, since the lowest in India is 300, my number of accounts as 2, and my region as South. Let's change this up a little bit. Let's check the eligibility, and this is denied. That is, my risk score is 99.3% now. That is, I will not be able to repay my loans in time. My debt ratio is 4.6%. So similarly, my credit score has a positive influence, my income, my number of accounts has slightly negative influence. Now this, I can come back again, I can load my logs and see all these values again, in my analytics, I can see that my total requests and uh, the two regions are east and south, since these are the ones I've given. Now this is from the user perspective. Now let's check from the admin's perspective. I can log out from here. Let's put admin@trustai.com, admin123, these are the ones that I've hard-coded into the system. Admin, I can see load logs, the same values again, since there's more transparency at this point. The model card is for what are the models I've used. These are the global feature importance, my credit score, feature importance. I've done this using chart.js. The background samples I've set as 50, and the algorithm is random forest classified. This changes depending on the different kind of algorithms or the models that are being used. Now let's come to fairness dashboard. This is the fairness dashboard. You have the region, your approval rate, that is the east. From the region east, 100% has been approved, and from the south, none have been approved out of the one that has been input. Coming to the code, this is the model that I've used in Python. That is, it generates synthetic credit data. These are the inputs that have been given, and similarly in the audit logs CSV, these are the two inputs that we've given recently. Everything is given, your log ID, your user ID, input data. All of these have been created once we load the backend. Similarly with audit.js, you have all these values that have been given. And finally, in app.py, this is where majority of the work happens, that I can predict. This is a predict route where I can post all these predicts, your credit score, number of accounts. These are the features that I'm using right now. And region is the protected attribute that I'm using to find out the fairness. I've used SHAP or SHAP for explanations because it contributes per feature per prediction. It is model agnostic and it helps convert raw model outputs to natural language. And that is why we don't see just a JSON explanation on the front end. SHAP converts this into readable form. So to conclude, Trust AI shows that AI doesn't have to be a black box. We can have transparency, fairness, and integrity can also be made accessible to both customers and regulators. Thank you.